I've come here to talk a little bit about Memorial Day and my interaction with someone who I often post on here on Memorial Day, Captain Stephen Phillis. Um, I work at the VA, and sometimes I have the honor of calling what's called the final salute, where when a veteran dies, we take a moment as we're getting ready to bring out the body. They cover it with the American flag. And as they bring it out, I'll the had did this like twice one night a couple weeks ago. Uh, Talk about the veteran and get to talk a little bit about kind of what his service was, and a little bit about his family, if I could know anything, just as an effort to honor him. And there was a time when I first did one of those that it popped in my head that I gave uh, someone their final salute while they were still alive, and that was Captain Phillis. He was an A-10 pilot with the 353rd Tactical Fighter Squadron, which I happen to support. You notice I'm wearing kind of like a pilot jacket. This is the wing that I was with, the with him. This is the 354th Tactical Fighter Wing, which was part of Myrtle Beach. This we'll go this way. This one is his squadron, 353rd Fighter Squadron, the Panthers. And of course, we had these patches that they were flying with at that time, right? And so there was a we did one of those final salutes, and it just kind of hit me. And the reason there's a lot of things that not only this jacket, but if you ever look at my any sets of keys, I always have one of these on there, remove before flight. My lanyard that I use at work here, um, the same thing, remove before flight. So what it's about is that it was the 15th of February, 1991, stationed at King Fahd International Airport. I had been sent out to, we often do what's called inter-runway for us. I'm an electronic warfare technician, so one of the things we have is we have several boxes that we have set up where we run radar warning checks right before the pilots take off. And so I'm connected on a headset with the pilot and the crew chief. And the significance of all these little things is that when they pull up there, this is the last stop that they have before they literally hit the runway and take off. And so these are attached to, safing pins for everything from like landing gear, weapons. The ejection seat actually has flags about this size that are part of the pins that keep you from being able to eject on the ground. So while they're pulling all these pins, me and my crew are running these radar warning checks. And so I'm talking to the pilot. And if you've ever seen Top Gun or some of these other movies that have like air combat in it, and you hear the missile warning, the beep, 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 it's that system. And so what we're doing is we're running radar simulators that simulate those threats. So what we're doing is making sure that what the pilot is seeing on his screen is matching in the audio, that he's getting all that's going to work. And so usually when they're done with that, usually because I'm the last one, so the crew chief he's waiting for me to disconnect, the plug there, and so it's the last final thing. And so once I'm done, I give him a salute, send him on his way as soon as that crew chief is there and out of the way. And then they literally taxi maybe another 30, 40 yards, and they're at the end of the runway. They're turning onto the runway, and they're taking off. And on this day, it just so happened that Captain Phillis and his wingman, a guy named Robert Sweet, Lieutenant Robert Sweet, they were going to fly against a Republican Guard target, not necessarily from their intel, did not know that they would be flying into where a SAM site was. I have an account from Lieutenant Sweet. This came out of a People magazine article that came out just a few weeks after the end of the war, and this is what he said. He said he was about 4 in the afternoon when another A-10, which is Captain Phillis, and I headed across the northern border of Kuwait into Iraq. I was a little keyed up because our target was a group of Republican Guard tanks 80 miles into Iraq, farther north than any A-10 had been before. If you got hit, it would be a long trip back to safety. I had already dropped my bombs when a surface-to-air missile was fired at me. It missed, but I saw where it came from, so we decided to hammer that guy that launched it. I was just about to roll in when I felt something behind me, just a bump really. I looked back and the rear end of my right wing was all in flames. "Oh man, I'm hit," I yelled, and I started south trying to make the border. But after about a minute and a half later, the plane started spinning out of control and I was spiraling downward. So he ends up ejecting. And in part of this, he Captain Phillis was there trying to protect his wingman and ended up getting hit by that missile. They were going back in to take this out because they had other crew members, other pilots that are going to be coming in and hitting this target too. So they would be facing this. And what ended up happening is Captain Phillis, when it hit his plane, it ended up killing him. Now at that time, like I said, I launched him off. The two of them off. We were launching so many planes and stuff off, and when I heard about it, all we knew they would tell us is that they were missing in action, and it was quite a while. It was a couple days, and we actually heard about Lieutenant Sweet being found, and he was taken as a POW, prisoner of war. But we had assumed that Captain Phillis, that he had probably perished. And it kind of stuck with me for a long time because the very system that I'm supposed to maintain, and that's what we was out there checking, this radar warning system, really was supposed to protect these guys. And and I did see an interview with Lieutenant Sweet where he talked a little bit more in depth about it. And really, there was not much that they could do. They were getting all that. The system worked fine, but for the longest time, I had no idea if maybe I missed something that may have added to this airman's death. And for the longest time, I carried that with me. As a matter of fact, I found this article when I was going through some PTSD therapy and trying to put some stuff together because my family had been asking about my time over there. My kids, who were real young at the time, remember me being over there, but didn't know much about, really kind of what happened. And as I'm going through and doing this therapy and I'm talking to them about it, they're asking questions. So I kind of went and did some homework. But Captain Phillis, yeah, he died in combat protecting his wingman. He was awarded the Silver Star and the Purple Heart afterwards, and I just always Memorial Day and even every day. I mean, I wear this jacket a lot. These, like I said, my set of keys that I have that I carry with me has that on there. I carry this with me everywhere I go, and I just wanted to take this Memorial Day to talk a little bit more about Captain Phillis and the sacrifice that he made. And I just want to honor him with as best I can today. Thank you for watching.